game the other night, so we'll see how he is. Darrell Corrigan, see how Darrell is. Darrell just has some discomfort in his ankle, so we'll see how he is also. On the plus side, Jason Knight will come into the squad.
And we can definitely say that Kelleher will start tomorrow. It's been a few years since a Liverpool player played for Ireland. How highly do you rate him?
Yeah, no, Caoimhín is a real natural goalkeeper. He's such a terrific talent. Obviously, he played 10 times for me as under-21 manager, so I'm well aware of his qualities, and he's terrifically well. Just unfortunate last season when he was injured, and that opened the door in March for Gavin Bazuna, who's been terrific. And obviously Caoimhín made his debut at half time in the game against Hungary, but this is for a start tomorrow in front of the home crowd, so he deserves it.
Paul Walsh. Thanks, Kieran. Will Keane start tomorrow?
Well, I haven't picked a team yet, so we'll have to wait and see.
Are you thinking at this stage wholesale changes or a couple of tweaks?
No, there won't be wholesale changes. It's important to. It's a great game for us. Like, we obviously it's a build on Saturday night. I think Qatar are they're like a club team in that they played 17 games since March, between Copa America, the Asian Cup, which they're the holders, and also the CONCACAF. Been get to the semi-finals of that, so and been in this group, so they've had a lot of games, and they're a good team, very athletic team. 3-5-2, use the space of the pitch very well. They use the maximum width of the pitch, and they play with 2 high eights and 2 centre forwards. So it's it's an interesting challenge for tomorrow. So we want to do well, and got a home crowd, 25,000 sellout. They're friendly, terrific, and we want to go and try and win.
Just finally, it's one defeat from the last 7, as you said after the game last day. Has enough progress been shown in that period to earn you a new contract?
I'm not really focusing on that. I think and it hasn't been something that we've been focusing on. I think focusing on getting the team ready, and I think we're pleased that to get a comprehensive win in the end in Azerbaijan, and so it's obviously been a long flight to get ready again, quick turnaround. So we're at home, and we'd like to get a home victory, but at the same time balance, see the big picture, hence Caoimhín's selection and so forth. I think but there won't be wholesale changes, but there will be some. Gavin?
Hi Stephen, you said it won't be wholesale changes. Is that a recognition that it's important to get a win just to keep the momentum rolling, more than anything else?
Well, I think it's certainly it's our objective. We'd like to win the game, but but we get we'll have to earn the right to do that. Qatar have had some good results over the year, and they're a very attacking team. They commit everything really, and they obviously they like to control a lot of games, even against the better teams. So we'll have to play really well, and we want to do that. We want to win at home. We want to experience winning at home. We want the supporters to experience that, and that's certainly what we want.
And this last thing for me, can you talk a little bit about Anthony Barry's influence on the 3-4-2-1 system that you play, just because it's so similar to what they play at Chelsea, and Chelsea seems a pretty good place to be drawn.
No, I think, listen, we've a great coaching team. Keith Andrews, Anthony Barry, Dean Coyley, terrific behind the scenes. We work well collectively, and Anthony's terrific. There's no doubt about that. And that's where that is.
Damien? Stephen, you were always confident the team was going in the right direction, but how important is it for the players to now have some tangible reward for that after Saturday?
Yeah, we've put in some good performances without reward. A lot of good performances that we've drawn a lot of games. We should have won, and we're kicking ourselves for that. And so yeah, it was a comfort. Obviously Callum Robinson's goals were his first goal. It was a good team goal. Good. I was pleased that the way the two wing backs were involved in the move and created it, but it was just a brilliant individual strike from Callum. So the second goal, obviously, it was a good goal as well, albeit it got deflection, but it was a terrific goal, and we're pleased to see Chio Benya, come off the bench, and real positive personality, and it was great for him to score, because he surprised us with that, because we hadn't got that one down as one of his main attributes. His leap, the height he got off the ground, and the power he got in the header was terrific, and that was terrific. That we were pleased with that.
Just briefly on the goalkeepers, it must be a luxury as a coach to have 3 or 4 very decent goalkeepers to play from.
Yeah.
The challenge to keep them happy.
Yeah, no, I don't know about that, but I do think that what we're trying to do, and what we're trying to do for a while, is create an environment and create in a situation where there's going to be, going forward, there's going to be real competition for places. I see that because of the high number of obviously players making their debut and some of the players doing well. Not everyone is having a great time at club level, so that opens the door and means that there is inconsistencies in selection when that happens sometimes. So I think going forward there's going to be real competition for places in all areas, and goalkeeping, it just happens that obviously Caoimhín, Mark Travers is having a great season with Bournemouth, and Gavin have come in, and Gavin's been absolutely brilliant, of course, in recent matches. So you want that level of competition going forward. You want that for the next few years, and that's important.
Ed, one question on the live section.
Stephen, hi. Just I suppose going back to the game on Saturday, another game away from home where you've scored first, and obviously this time you didn't concede, but was it concerning between the team's play and maybe a little bit of a backward step once they scored the goal, that there was a little bit of the performance levels maybe dropped between the two goals? Were you concerned with that?
Yeah, we didn't get everything right. I think Azerbaijan, believe it or not, as opposed to say Qatar, who are 3-5-2 players playing their position with great symmetry on the pitch, say Azerbaijan have players who interchange positions all over the park, and they flood the midfield area, and the forwards come deep and get it, and they interchange. They're good at keeping possession, particularly in their own half, and sometimes we got overloaded in there, and sometimes we that was in that period, and that's something that we can learn from.
Okay,
you mentioned the formation change the other night. I'm just wondering, was that based on what had happened in the games today, or was it more on the personnel coming to the fore, or you thinking amongst the coaches with a change in coach, or what can that be attributed to?
In our team?
Yeah.
In our team, right, well, we sort of obviously went changed to the back three in March, and we're consistent with all of that bar the game against Andorra. We played it back four, but I think we have ahead of that very in that we played 3-4-1-2, and the first game we played 3-4-2-1 was actually in the game against Qatar in Hungary. So it is the realisation that it's possibly fair to say that 60-70% of our best players are defenders, and the three emerging centre backs coming through, like Amabama Dele, Darrell O'Shea, Nathan Collins as well. We've got players who play at wing back for their clubs, and we've got the capacity to shape a team around that, and also that can be tactically flexible against the better nations. Against the better nations, tactically flexible, and give us a better chance against the better nations because of flexibility within that. But what we've got to then improve on is in obviously we've shown playing teams that we're capable of beating, improving that aspect of our play.
Steve, just word on Benya, obviously becoming first African-born player to score for Ireland. Did that feel like a little bit of a milestone? I know we've spoken a lot before about this young side reflects more of a modern Ireland.
Yeah, I think the thing with Chio is that it was a process, a long process to actually get him registered or get him, you know, that he could play for us. You know, it was a process with UEFA, FIFA, a long process, having to trawl through records, which I didn't feel that was right, because he's lived in Cork since he was 7, and you know, it's not like say other sports where he can just change nationality in a short period in the country. You know, it's he grew up, came through the schoolboy system with a schoolboy club, came into Cork City, played for Limerick, and moved in his 20s. So for me, that was, you know, should have been absolutely able to play for Ireland a long time ago, but he wasn't. And we had a long process, because of the minute I got the job, or before I got the job, we were trying to get him free to play. So that only happened just about ahead of the summer window there. So it was great that it was only right. You know, a lot of people in Cork are very proud of him, having done so well, and he's forging a career for himself at the moment, and maybe, you know, so albeit ideally, you know, he wants to be playing at the highest level he can, and we'll take each game one step by step. Just.
Stephen, just a quick question. Are you hoping to get Nathan Collins on the pitch tomorrow night at some stage?
So we'll have to wait and see. You know, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, Nathan's someone who's obviously very good. You know, and we'll have to wait and see how we go. We're trying to, well, you know, we want to win the game as well, and not that Nathan coming in will diminish us. It wouldn't at all. So it's you know, we want to find a balance there. But Nathan's as good a chance as anyone getting on tomorrow. Like, he's obviously he's not been playing regular club level, but he had been the previous. He had an injury with Stoke in the second half of the season, which would have meant that he definitely would have been in the summer squad, but he wasn't available with his injury. But before that, he played a lot of games for Stoke. He was very consistent and played in different positions. Played in the back three and actually played right back for Stoke, even though he's such a commanding centre back. So he has the ability to play in a few positions as well.
Philip? Yeah, just got a few things to get around. Philip?
Stephen, Serbia's win on Saturday, unfortunately, just extinguished whatever faint chance we have coming second. Is the target now for you come third in this group? You've beaten Azerbaijan, 2 good results in November, from third. Is that your target for you in your third?
Yeah, first of all, we'd like to, you know, we'd like a good performance tomorrow night. We'll have to earn the victory. We want to earn a victory tomorrow against Qatar, and then take Portugal on, and obviously it would be a great occasion. We want 2 good results certainly in November between Portugal and Luxembourg away. We definitely want that. So that's certainly certainly our objectives.
Paul M?
Stephen, the last kind of player striker to score regularly in the campaign was John Walters, and then part of that was with Robbie for years.
Yeah.
Do you think now with Callum can now do that for Ireland, if not be like at those levels, but still at a high level, or does he have to do more at club level, do you think, to deliver goals on a regular basis?
Well, I see there is sort of comparison there with John and Walters, because of the fact that they both play wide and as central strikers. Although John Walters scored goals even from the wide right position in that campaign. Callum likewise played on the right the other day when he got his goals, and he went up front. He's been playing, could be argued his best position is off the left, you know, where he's played a lot of his football at Preston. But yeah, he is someone who has the capacity to create and score goals. He's not necessarily a prolific scorer of goals, but he got a high number at Preston, and he scored goals this year for West Brom, and he's done well so far before his illness, and so it's hopefully he can have a good impact. He's at that age now where he's at the peak of his career, and hopefully he can go on and do well for us. Hopefully he can be someone who can score goals for us.
Paul Hill?
Just on striker, Stephen, did Alameda experience any effects from the fever he had in Baku? And does he need a break, or do you keep going with him?
That's something that we have to consider, and we'll have a look at that. He's out, he's okay and available, and it was difficult for him to be, he still did a good job for the team on Saturday, and he did a good job for the team. He led the line, and certainly he has had bigger impacts in the last window in the games for sure, but it was a selfless act, sort of getting out there and putting himself forward, having been struck down. So to be fair to him, and he put in a sort of selfless hour for the team, and that was appreciated.
Final question, please.
Speaking of subs, you've been like two of them known for lower league clubs, Chelsea and Jamie. Probably not too many internationals from Rotherham and St Mirren playing these days. Can they play at a higher level? Will that help you? Few games with this, that exposure help them to get to a higher level, or what difference would it be them to be at a higher level with the better clubs?
Yeah, no, I see the argument. I don't think, for me, it would be inappropriate to sort of criticise either club, because obviously they've been big parts in their development as well over the last year, and the fact that they've been able to play regular matches and a high number of matches, and that's helped them both develop. So I agree, it is unusual, to be playing for Ireland, but I've got to pick what you see as well, and if players do well, I have to reward that as well, and I can't sort of be influenced by what club they're at and base the selection on that. If players do well, I think you do sometimes have to reward them.